Is it possible to break a car with a rubber band? And if it can be broken, how many rubber bands are needed? To find out the answer to this question, Jack, Mike and Chris did a fun experiment. At first, they took ordinary rubber bands, but they were tearing quickly. For this, Jack ordered some very strong rubber bands online that were very strong and not easy to tear. First, they passed the rubber band under the car tire. Then Mike slowly moved the car forward. As a result, the rubber band came out on the other side. Now the question was, where on the car would the rubber bands be stuck? For this, they chose the weakest part of their car. Chris climbed onto the roof of the car and pressed it with his foot, and the roof gave slightly. So they decided that the bands would be stuck here. Putting the second band was a little difficult, but finally, the three of them completed this difficult task. After putting 50 bands, Jack saw that the back door of the car was not opening. The pressure of the rubber bands was so high that the car structure was slightly bent. This means that the effect of the rubber bands was starting to affect the car. Then Jack thought of putting a jack under the car so that it would be easier to lift the car and put the bands on. But this idea didn't work. The bands started to tear. For now, the car was leaning slightly to one side, but it wasn't a reliable way. So they lowered the car back to the ground and started working from there. Half an hour passed. By then, 100 bands had been applied, but the car didn't look much different. But as they approached 200, the plastic inside the car's doors began to break and cracks appeared in the front. As they approached 300 bands, a loud, popping sound came from nearby. The three quickly moved away, and when the situation seemed normal, they started putting the bands on again. Finally, the car could no longer withstand the pressure and its structure slowly began to flatten. In all, 385 rubber bands crushed the car completely.